Hello everyone, Jules here. Today I want to make a video for viewers who have asked me about how to go beyond Thoth 101. So I've been asked this question by a few of my viewers over a long period of time, and I want to talk about this today, and I've written down a few points that I want to make about how to go beyond Thoth 101. And I'm going to start by talking about Crowley's Book of Thoth and about what the book actually is and how it's been written and how Crowley regarded this book. Crowley actually saw this book as a little white book for his deck. So if you look just inside the cover, just underneath the title, it actually says a short essay on the tarot of the Egyptians. So Crowley considered this to be just a short essay, and it's just the equivalent of a little white book. So I needed to say that to start with. That is how Crowley regarded this book. A short essay and just a short guide to his book. So for people who are not quite aware of what I'm talking about the Crowley Thoth Tarot deck. Here's my copy. The other thing about the Book of Thoth as well is that it is veiled information. So it is written in the form of riddles. A lot of this is written in that way because that is the style that Crowley wrote in, and also esoteric information is actually hidden information. It's veiled. That's what the word esoteric means. It means hidden. So it is meant to be difficult to penetrate and understand because it's been written in that way, and it's talking about, esoteric topics. So it was meant to be written in that way. So it is veiled information, very much in relation to the priestess card, because the priestess guards the esoteric knowledge. So Crowley very much had the priestess in mind when he wrote the Book of Thoth as a short guide to his deck. So it is veiled information, and it's meant to be veiled. There are glimpses of information in the book. So it's just a very general guide. It's not as specific as a lot of many other tarot books have been written. So you have the veiled, guarded, esoteric information of the priestess. Now the other book that a lot of people are familiar with who use the Thoth deck is Understanding Crowley's Thoth by Lonmilo Duquette. This book is just for absolute beginners. It was written as an approach to the Crowley Book of Thoth for the deck. So this is my original copy from 2003. I got this book when it was first published. I'm actually not a fan of this book for a number of reasons that I'm not going to go into right now, that I probably don't wish to discuss. But for absolute beginners, it is a guide to how to approach the Book of Thoth by Crowley. So for absolute beginners, yes, you can or you could start with this book as an absolute beginner on how to approach the Book of Thoth by Crowley. So after this publication, this 2003 publication, there was a later edition, and it had some little bit of extra information, and it was only extra information regarding the unicursal hexagram. So I did not bother many years later when this later edition, this later book came out. I did not bother to get another copy because I had already done years of further study and also been a member of esoteric societies. So I did not need a few pages of information on the unicursal hexagram. So that's why I did not bother getting the later edition of that book. So I'm just going to refer to a few other points that I want to make about this. So the book by Duquette is a guide on how to approach the Book of Thoth. But it is not a substitute for the Crowley book. I know a lot of people do use it as a kind of substitute, but you will, if you do that, you will not be actually learning about the Crowley Thoth tarot deck. You'll just be learning how to approach it. So ultimately, to be able to go beyond Thoth 101, you would need to consider becoming a member of an esoteric society. And it would need to be one that has Golden Dawn or OTO affiliations. And the OTO was the society that Crowley later took over as leader, and he added to the original OTO teachings his Thelema philosophy. So to ultimately go beyond Thoth 101, to begin to understand the esoteric concepts, that is what you would need to do. Because this kind of understanding is not available on social media. You won't find it on social media. Now, for people who think that that is very old school, well, it is old school. It is. This is a very long tradition. These esoteric teachings go all the way back to ancient civilizations. That is how old this is. So yes, it is old school. If you want to learn about these esoteric teachings, that is what you ultimately would have to do. That is because esoteric ideas and concepts, it's veiled information because it is also experiential, and you will only get that experiential knowledge by being a member of an esoteric society. Because these ideas and information, they're written in an esoteric language. So these are esoteric language concepts. They appear as riddles. That is why they appear to ordinary mainstream readers as riddles. They are written in that way. So what it has involved for me, for example, is many years of intense study. So I've been studying the Thoth deck, Hermetic Kabbalah for 15 years. That involves intense study. And it's not only the study. For the experiential understandings, there is a certain amount of training that is required. So this is training of the mind, for example. And that is why you cannot get that on social media. It just isn't there. So anyone who is trying to present that as these esoteric secrets, they're really just trying to promote their services and products, because this type of information is not generally made public. It's not made available to the general public. So what I can say here to people who are asking me about how to go beyond Thoth 101, who want to learn more and are willing to put in the years of hard work and study and training for this experiential understanding. I can refer you to my playlist. I have a playlist of esoteric path guidelines, and that gives you some ideas on how to go about thinking about how to find esoteric societies and how to consider becoming a member. So that is the best advice I can give you, to look at that playlist that I have there. And the other thing I want to say that I think I have needed to say for quite a while from having my channel and seeing other people talk about these topics sometimes, is to say there is a big difference to reading esoteric books and understanding them. That takes years, many years to understand, to truly understand what you are reading. You can have a vast library of esoteric books. Some of them can be very expensive. You could have the largest esoteric library available, and you may have even read all of the books, but there is a difference between reading and actually understanding the true meanings that are in those books. So I think these are the main points that I want to say about this topic, about how to go beyond Thoth 101. And I hope this has been helpful to people who want to know how to begin to go about that. And I'll put some details below the video about my playlist for the Esoteric Path Guidelines. So all I can say for now is thanks for watching. Bye for now.